A bombshell about President Trump's taxes proving to be a little bit of a dud. Rachel Maddow getting all wound up and hyping the big reveal.
You may have heard, we've got some significant breaking news tonight. Donald Trump's tax returns have surfaced, at least a portion of Donald Trump's past tax returns.
Well, actually, it was 2 pages from 2005, showing that Mr. Trump paid a tax rate of about 25%, which was a higher percent than President Obama paid in 2015, even the Washington Post calling it a nothing burger. Joining me now is an expert on getting the audience very excited.
Wait until you hear
Fox
this.
News correspondent at large, Geraldo Rivera.
Stand by, this is shocking.
Yes. Everyone on Twitter, including myself, was doing jokes about Al Capone's vault.
Right, the empty vault.
I think that for anyone who doesn't remember, I think we have the video and we can play it for you when you famously opened up Al Capone's vault. I loved it. I remember the very night I snuck out of bed. I watched it on the TV. Other people were more critical. Well,
the world was watching. We found the gangster's vault in the old Hotel Lexington in south side of Chicago. We thought it had bodies in it, guns, gold, cash. It turned out I had an empty Gilbey's gin bottle and a 1926 stop sign.
What did that feel like, by the way?
Well, I knew the whole world was watching. It was my first big independent production following 15 years at ABC News. I knew that everybody had tuned in, and I wanted to bury myself in the hole when I found nothing. But I tell you what I did find was ratings, and I think Rachel Maddow also will discover the ratings inside the empty vault. Yeah. But I think that because she made fun of me when I said that maybe I had some Trump tapes during that whole Access Hollywood thing, and then I did not deliver. She made fun of me and said it was Al Capone's vault all over again. I submit to you that Rachel Maddow now has the mantle of the Al Capone vault.
One very big difference, though, from a production standard is you didn't know what was inside the vault. Well, she was doing all that hyping. She knew what was in the tax returns, and so she knew as she's hyping that she wasn't really revealing anything. I mean, he paid $38 million in taxes. If you look at his effective tax rate, at 25.3%, he was paying a higher rate than President Obama, 18.7%. Comcast, by the way, the big corporation that backs Rachel Maddow, paid a tax 24%. Even Bernie Sanders, 13.5%. What did you think of what was inside her vault? Meaningful, not meaningful?
Well, I thought it was very meaningful. I thought that, first of all, that President Trump should get a new tax attorney because he's paying twice the rate Mitt Romney paid.
That's a great point.
It was so favorable to the president that I thought for a second that maybe he planted it.
I know.
That Rachel Maddow would do this big reveal. I think, by the way, that's why she was so tentative in her delivery just there, because she knew that the bottom line was it belied every notion that MSNBC has been promulgating that Trump is a tax dodger. That's why he hasn't released his tax returns.
Or that he's not rich. I mean, that's the other.
Or that he's not rich.
Now, for the record, the Trump administration has said it's ridiculous that they were behind this, because a lot of people have speculated, like you said, that maybe it turned out so well for him and it was so embarrassing for MSNBC, who he's called fake news, that maybe he was behind it. He says that's absolutely not true. But it did end up on a PR front being a very good night for him. Do you think for you, I mean, you got blockbuster ratings out of the vault. There was a happy ending to that story, obviously.
Right.
I mean, your career boomed.
I was the most famous unemployed person in America. That's why I took that job to open Al Capone's vaults, thinking that it would resurrect my career. I found nothing, but I had 22 job offers the next day. So who knows what happens to Rachel Maddow. But I think that MSNBC is doing its job. Rachel Maddow is a fine broadcaster, but there is no doubt but that this ricocheted, that this favored Donald Trump. It took the, the Obamacare debate off the front pages for a while. The whole Russian hacking business also was, at least for the day, put to the side. And listen, I would love to be in a situation where I paid
of their insurance plans when the individual mandate goes away.
But Matt, the name of the game is let's get in the ring and make things better. I mean, it's so easy to stand there and say this one's in a death spiral and this one's going to kick everyone off. What would you do? Give me one thing you would do to this plan to make it better.
Okay, so let me just finish that thought real fast, which is when Americans decide not to buy insurance, you know what that is? That's freedom. And so what I would do if I was in the Republican conference, the first thing I would do is let's have a repeal bill, because this really is about scrapping Obamacare. The second thing I would do, I think it's great that Paul Ryan has this version of the bill, but I would have a very open amendment process in which conservatives have a real chance to reform this bill. The only way we're going to get consensus through the House and then the Senate is if they have an open debate with the American people about what we want and about what we want to avoid, all the pitfalls with Obamacare.
But with respect, you guys are both doing exactly what both sides in Washington have been guilty of. You're criticizing the other plan. You're saying why we should do nothing.
I can be
come
specific.
up with like real solutions.
Melissa,
I can be specific.
Okay, go ahead.
I think every mandate should go away. I think every tax increase should go away. I think that the refundable tax credit is an interesting idea, but I think it probably goes to too high of an income threshold. I think that should be reduced. I think we should be sensitive to those folks that don't qualify for Medicaid but still want to find an affordable way to purchase health care. I think Paul Ryan's trying to figure out a way to do that with this refundable tax credit. I think he should be open to changes so that the truly needy get it, not people who make an awful lot of money.
Simon, do you want to take one more crack at the number one thing you would do?
Yeah, no, I just reject this entire framing of this conversation. The market was broken when Barack Obama came to the White House. People were not able to get insurance. Healthcare inflation was galloping. We fixed those things, right? Tens of millions of people have insurance.
What about all the markets where there's only one choice and the insurance companies are pulling out?
You've been interrupting me a lot today. Let me finish, right? Is that I'm trying to get my point. I'm answering your question.
Go ahead.
Right? And so tens of millions of people have insurance who didn't have it before, and they're happy with that insurance. We know that from polling. The second thing is that healthcare inflation, it is true, healthcare inflation is actually slowed down. And so we made significant changes that improved the American healthcare system. Pre-existing conditions are covered for everybody. We can go through the whole list of stuff. The Republicans are the ones who say they don't like it. The public supports
Simon,
Obamacare.
you're repeating yourself now.
So
you're repeating yourself, and let me ask, sir.
So if they want to fix it, it's incumbent upon them to come up with a better idea.
You are repeating yourself, and now you need to answer my question, which is what about all the markets?
I'm not answering your question.
Where there's only, listen to me.
Ideas on the table, and we've made the system better.
Simon,
the Republicans don't like it. It's incumbent upon them.
I asked you, what about all the markets where there's only one insurance company and those carriers have said they are leaving? What is the answer to that question, Simon?
The answer is higher subsidies. The answer is higher subsidies.
More government tax dollars. More tax dollars from our audience. That's the answer?
Yeah, that's the answer.
Okay.
If you want to fix
I'm glad you're willing to admit it on television. I'm glad you're willing to admit it on television that it's more taxpayer dollars taken from working people and given then over to insurance companies. You're going to take taxpayer dollars. Who pays taxes?
Not from working people.
Working people pay taxes. Who pays taxes? Gentlemen, we got to hold it there. We have a break. Everybody, we're going to take a breath and come right back.
Okay.